Hey everybody, I'm here. I'm so excited. This is going to be so fun. If you've never come to one of my live classes before, they are truly the best. And this is the very first one I have done at night. Fun fact, this is the first, the last, maybe not. Maybe I'm going to start teaching night classes. I don't know. But I'm really glad I could do it, and I'm glad you could be here. I am excited to see all your names. Hey, Carol, Julie, Diane, Sharon, Cindy, Kelly, Amy. Hey, what's up? Welcome. Oh my gosh, I get so excited to see everybody. Marianne is in Pennsylvania like me. Hey, Marianne, I am in Pittsburgh right now in my kitchen. Thanks for coming to my house. This is our new house. We moved here a couple months ago and we've had basically no one in it. So it's really, really fun. I wish I could give you a house tour. Could we just walk around and I'll just show you all the things we've done and are still planning to do someday? That'd be so fun. Hey guys, hey Soraya, Linry, sorry if I'm not saying the right, Sherry, Carol Ann. Hi Jennifer, thanks so much for coming. I'm gonna give everyone a couple more minutes to log in. We had over 5,000 people sign up for tonight's class. So, oh, I know, besides doing in the chat where you are from, I wanna know if you have made freezer meals before. So are you here because you are brand new to freezer meals and want to know what the heck these things are? Are you a super fan who has joined my membership site, Freezer Meal Pro, and is just here to show some love for me? That's fine. I encourage that. I just want to know, absolutely. Ooh, I just saw Karma said first time. I just want to know what your background is and really what you want to get out of this class, because this is for you. I have made thousands of freezer meals and I am here to tell you whatever you need to know, show you whatever you need to see so that you leave here super excited. I hope you can see my excitement and just ready to make some freezer meals. So let's see what everyone has to say. Jennifer says she is brand new. Another Jennifer new. Karina is a super fan. Hey Karina, thank you. Thanks for coming. Carol, super fan. Terry, pretty new. Annette said she had made 3 so far. All right, so we have a variety. It seems like some people here are veterans who have made meals before, some people who have maybe dipped their feet in the water, and people who are new. I love that. It's really, really fun to teach people who are brand new. I will say it reminds me how amazing these meals are. So I have been making them for 9 years. I have written so many recipes, made so many meals that it almost becomes second nature. And then you talk to somebody who's new and you're like, what? You've never made a freezer meal before? Let me change your life. We are going to be best friends. So if you're brand new, I am really, really thrilled for you. The people here who are super fans, who have meals, will tell you in the comments, like, they're so great. They're going to save so much time and money. Really easy way to cut. We will maybe wait, let's say 1 more minute. I want to give as many people a chance to log in as I can. Like I said, over 5,000 people signed up. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking this time out of your day to be here with me. Hey, Ashley. Hi, Raymond. Margie, Vicky, Candace, Kimberly, Linda. Hey, guys. Thank you. It's so fun to talk to everybody. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for coming. We're going to have a great time. All right, I'm respectful of your time. I appreciate it. You have other things to do tonight. I have to watch a TV show with my 11-year-old. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey, thanks so much for joining me. I'm Kelly from the Family Freezer, and I am excited to show you how to make 6 meals in less than an hour. This is your freebie to my planners out there. I am about to speak your love language with this because it is super simple, super organized recipes with a full grocery shopping list. And not just any shopping list, because it's organized by aisle at the grocery store. and the labels for your meals. Now, I'm a huge nerd, total organization freak, so I printed my labels as waterproof sticker labels and already attached them to my bags. They have the ingredients and the cooking instructions. You don't need to do that. You could print on regular paper and attach to your bags with clear shipping tape, or just write on your bags with Sharpie. But that's cool. That's going to be in this freebie that is coming to your email after class. So make sure to check your email. It's in there somewhere, your spam. You can even try searching the family freezer. I promise I am sending this to you. This is like pure gold. So you want to find this after class. And since you are getting all of the recipes, don't feel like you need to be scribbling down notes on paper in your phone while I am making these meals. Don't worry about that. I want you to like relax, maybe have a snack, have a cup of tea. Like you can relax. This is like you're watching a cooking show on TV, right? Can I be Rachel Ray? And just let me do all the work and then later get your recipes in your freebie. Now, I know a lot of people here are members of my site, Freezer Meal Pro. Thank you guys for joining. I'm so glad that you're here. But if you're brand new to making freezer meals, I will share a discount at the end of class, so please stick around if you can. I want to go ahead and jump in. Let's make meal number 1, which is lemon pepper chicken. I want to point out what is different about all of my freezer meals, and that is they are frozen raw. Completely raw. You are going to see me combining the raw meat, the vegetables, the seasonings, spices, sauces together, and then putting them in the freezer for up to 3 months. So for our lemon pepper chicken, our first ingredient is fresh lemon juice. I am just going to use a fork. This is actually a method I learned from Rachel Ray. You just use the fork to squeeze out the lemon juice instead of using a juicer. Just one extra thing that I have to wash after class. But we're just going to add that fresh lemon juice to the bag. It smells so good. This meal is going to be really fresh and flavorful. To the other half of our lemon. And let me explain how I'm going to make all of these meals. How it will work is I will add all the produce, all the seasonings, sauces first, and then I'm going to do the meat at the end. All right, I'm also going to clean as I go. Okay, so we have our lemon juice. Let's go ahead and add our olive oil. And our salt and pepper. Like I said, all of these meals are going to be frozen completely raw. That means you're going to cook them for the very first time in your crock pot, your Instant Pot. I have a stovetop recipe, an oven recipe. They taste exactly like freshly prepared meals. Really delicious. They're not bland. They're not mushy. Crock pot recipes get a bad rap, and I'm here to tell you these are going to be good. Don't worry about that. And they're going to come together very quickly. This meal, how quickly did you see me put those ingredients in there? Yes, I have to add chicken, but was it like 60 seconds? Maybe 90? These will be so fast. If you've seen other people making freezer meals on Pinterest where they're spending an entire weekend, maybe you've done that yourself. You spent a weekend making freezer meals. We're not doing that here. I am not doing that. I cannot imagine spending an entire weekend. I could barely find an hour to teach this class. So we're going quick, we're going easy. Anyone else looking for like ways to simplify their life right now? Okay, meal number 2, moving right along, and that is Asian chicken lettuce wraps. These can be cooked in your crock pot. They can also be in your stovetop, or I have the directions for your Instant Pot. So lots of options. It isn't even just crock pot, although I love my crock pot. Let's go ahead and add, I have some diced red pepper and also carrots. I did those ahead of time. I knew I was going to be talking a lot, sharing as many tips as I could. All right. We need to add some soy sauce. I specifically picked this one. It's naturally gluten-free. Okay. You will see I am just using the same measuring spoons and measuring cups as I go, which that means the cleanup is going to be really easy as well. All right, honey for a little bit of sweetness. And then garlic powder and crushed red pepper flakes. This is a great meal. I love this. It's so flavorful. This is with ground chicken. You absolutely could do ground turkey. You could do ground beef. We serve this on Boston Bib lettuce for the lettuce wraps, sometimes with rice. All of the recipes have their simple side dish suggestions listed with them. So you'll know exactly what to buy to make the meal. I already bought our lettuce because I'm absolutely going to be eating these like ASAP. The meals will last at least 3 months in your freezer. When I write an expiration date on my meals, I do 3 months. I've never had a meal go bad, but also we tend to not wait to eat our meals. Like if I'm making 6 meals, we're probably going to eat these for the next 6 nights because I'm just so excited about not having to cook dinner. Okay, Asian chicken lettuce wraps are done. Let's move on to our salsa verde shredded pork tacos. I hope you can see the variety of these meals. We have the salsa verde shredded pork. We have the Asian chicken lettuce wraps, the lemon pepper. They're all different. Even if you would eat these 6 nights in a row, you wouldn't feel like you were eating the same thing. All right, we're going to add salsa verde. And if you couldn't find this, you could use regular salsa. I have done that in the past. It's still really good. I'm going to clean as I go. If you are new to my method of freezer cooking, hi, it's nice to meet you. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I have 5 kids, ages 2 to 11. They are all home right now. They're in our finished basement and being very seriously bribed to be quiet while I'm teaching this class. My husband Andy's here. He's recording. But this really all started because of them. It started 9 years ago when I only had 2 kids. I had a 2-year-old, I had a baby, and I just remember feeling like there was not enough time in the day. I mean, I was trying to work, I was trying to play with my kids, I was doing laundry, trying to keep our house like semi-clean, cooking. It just felt like my day was so full. And I mean, it still feels like that at times, but I thought, I'm really good at organizing. What if I organized our dinners so that I didn't have to cook every night? And I had been making these freezer crock pot meals where I just put the ingredients, they went in my crock pot raw, so why couldn't they go in a bag raw, put them in the freezer, and then cook them later? So it was like a light bulb moment where I thought if I didn't have to cook dinner every night, I would have all this time. I could sit down with my husband and talk about his day. Oh, I could walk my girls up to the park up the street. I could go for a quick run before dinner. It was like my life was going to be amazing if I had this extra, even 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and not having to cook. So that weekend, I made a list of 5 recipes. I made those meals. It took me about 45 minutes. We ate them the next week, and it totally changed my life. And not only because I did find I had so much more time and so much less stress, but I started sharing what I learned. I started sharing my recipes, my shopping list on my blog, The Family Freezer, and everyone else wanted them too. So it like legitimately went viral. There was a month 8 million people read my blog post and led to me writing 20 cookbooks. I've sold over $1 million worth of these cookbooks. This is our full-time job now. My husband and I just teach other people about these meals. But I mean, I've written thousands of recipes and just shared them everywhere. BuzzFeed, Food Network, Costco, Today Show. Anyone who is going to listen to me, I will just spread the word because they've helped me so much. And I know they're helping other people too. let's move on because I think we're done with this recipe. Oh wait, I don't know if that's true. Okay, I added my salsa verde, but I didn't add my seasonings, which are cumin, garlic powder, crushed red pepper flakes, and pepper. And this is great. I want to share this hack with you. This is a time-saving hack. This recipe calls for 1 diced onion, and I am going to substitute frozen diced onions. I bought this bag at my local grocery store. It was $1 and has about 3.5 cups of onions. That equals about 3.5 onions. So I substitute 1 cup per onion. It just saves so much time when I'm prepping meals. I'm doing 6 today, but there have been times I'll do 10. I've done 28, 36, 40, and it saves a lot of time. Plus, it's like you're not crying when you're cooking. So if you can find these at your grocery store, I really recommend them. They're great. Okay, this run is done. Let's move on to recipe number 4. These are our honey sriracha chicken. It's not spicy, just very, very flavorful. I'm just adding a little bit of sriracha, and then I'm gonna add some honey too to balance it out. Again, not too spicy. I'm cooking for kids. If you really like spicy stuff, you can maybe add less honey, but I think this is a meal that everyone will like. All right, let's add some honey. And then I'll add soy sauce. Now, I picked this gluten-free soy sauce. If you are gluten-free, I think these meals will probably work for you as written. Read the labels, obviously, especially if you're preparing these for anyone with like an allergy or an intolerance, celiac disease. You need to be careful. But most of my recipes are naturally dairy-free, gluten-free. I have keto recipes on our membership site. We have paleo, keto, vegetarian, Whole30. I really think these meals will work for you. They'll either work as written or they're very easy to adapt. So that should be good. All right, we have our honey. Let's add some soy sauce and garlic powder. I think what sets these meals apart, besides the fact that they're frozen raw, is I try to, 1, not use any fancy ingredients. I want to use things you can find at your local grocery store. So that's 1. A lot of them might already be in your pantry. Number 2 is I try and use all of the ingredients. So I was looking on Pinterest the other day. I found this recipe. It called for a tablespoon of tomato paste. I was like, that's great, but what am I going to do with the rest of the can? Like, do I throw it away? Do I try and save it? When am I going to use this other 7/8 of a can of tomato paste? So when I write my recipes, I'm trying to use the entire amount. I don't want anything left over, especially if it's a vegetable or any kind of meat. Like, that would be hard to use and I wouldn't want it to go to waste. So that, and then the spice combinations, because it's really important to me that all of my meals are flavorful. I want them to be delicious. I want them to be healthy and work for your diet, and I want you to think these are so great, they taste so good, I want to make them again. And that just comes with like thousands of meals, years of cooking, recipe testing. I think I've really honed in on spice combinations. So for example, I have like a homemade chili seasoning that I use in my recipes, taco or Mexican, Italian. I have a dairy-free ranch seasoning. Just a lot of options, Indian recipes that if you use the right seasonings, you can have very flavorful meals. These aren't like mushy, bland crock-pot recipes. Like, I promise you, they taste great. When I've written thousands of recipes, I'm only giving you the best of the best, especially these 6. These are really good. You're gonna like them. This one's done, honey sriracha chicken. We are good. All right, number 5 is our sweet and sour barbecue meatballs. We actually had these for dinner tonight. So I taught a class yesterday. I made these same meals, and you better believe I did not wait. I already made one today. So we had this for dinner tonight. It was really good. My 9-year-old was joking around. She's like, well, you know, this is the real test. Like, your kid's tasting it. And it's like, okay. And she's like, all right, it's good. They're really good. So, Ella, thank you. All right, I have my onion. I'm gonna put in, this is a diced green pepper and red pepper, really trying to get as many veggies in there as I can. And then I am going to dice a fresh pineapple. I bought the one that was already cored. I think it cost an extra $1, but I decided it was worth it. You don't have to do that. I do recommend using the fresh pineapple over canned. If you only have a can, okay, fine, but I think these are better. This just ends up being a very flavorful dish. It's simple, but it's so good. And it is sweet. So when you are, the pineapple and the peppers really give it like a sweetness. So good when you add the meatballs. And then you add barbecue sauce, which is really fun. If you've never had a sweet and sour recipe with barbecue, really like fun twist on it. And you can decide with the barbecue if you want it to be spicy, if you want it to be sweet. I think the one I bought is kind of a spicy sweet. I was trying to cater to kids, but it's totally up to you what you think will work. Okay, I'll show you. Oh, I have a couple things to show you. Okay, first I'll show you the barbecue that I'm using. This is Sweet Baby Ray's Sweet and Spicy. I've made this meals a bunch of times with different barbecue sauces, so use whatever you have on hand or whatever's on sale or whatever you like. I bought a very big bottle because I knew I was teaching 2 classes in a row and just wanted to make sure I got enough. But if you had a bottle that was about 18 ounces, you could dump the entire thing into your meal. You probably saw me wipe my hands on this apron. So I'm going to back up and actually show you what it looks like. Let me do this. All right. This is my freezer cooking apron. My mom made this for me. We used to get together and make freeze meals. We made 28, we made 36, and she used to see me. I'd use like an entire roll of paper towels, wiping my hands, cleaning up as I go, wiping my spoons so I could reuse them, cut down on dishes. And she thought, what if I just took a towel and attached it to the apron? So she made this for me. I always use it when I'm making meals. I actually had to wash it today, like 2 hours ago. I was like, oh my gosh, I need my apron. I can't teach class without it. I need it when I make meals. She ended up opening an Etsy shop because so many people asked me about this. So if you want to buy one, you can. The link will be in your freebie. She's one person. She's probably going to sell out. So buy it today if you want to try and get one because they're really, really good, make good gifts. But okay, everything in our meal, our onion, our pepper, pineapple, barbecue, we're good. I wanted to share, I have tons of people email me, message me about how they are making these meals and they're working for them. And I want to share a couple stories so that you can see how these meals are working for other people in their life. So Teresa sent me a message. This was just the other day. She said, I of your site after watching one of your videos. I hate cooking. I wasn't good at it, but now I make stress-free dinners that my family loves. Plus, I spent $127 yesterday for 8 or 9 meals, which is a huge savings for us. And there's no food waste. I have thrown away so much food that I bought to make a recipe and didn't get the chance to use it. It went bad, or I had so much left over and no one ate it. So I totally get it, Teresa. Like, I hate when that happens. That's the worst. And I'm glad that she's pointing out the cost savings because these are very budget-friendly meals. When I bought the ingredients to make these 6, I spent $69.05 total. That works out to $11.51 per meal. Yes, I am a huge nerd. I am calculating this to the penny. Anyone else loves spreadsheets? Okay, $11.51 per meal with 6 servings. So that is less than $2 a serving for these dinners, even if you're adding a side dish. So these meatballs, we had them with rice tonight. These are still very budget-friendly meals. I find when I am prepping ahead of time, when I'm planning and using freezer meals, we save $200 a month. If you're trying to save money, you're trying to cut corners, this is not really cutting corners. It's cutting just your financial corners in your food budget because these work. I'm embarrassed to admit we drove through McDonald's the other day for lunch and it was over $30 for lunch at McDonald's. And that my husband didn't even get anything. He like wanted to make something at home. Over $30. And I know like I have 5 kids, but still, I mean, I could have had one of these meals for $11.51. Now, I'm sure we had this, for dinner that night or whatever. But my point is, this is really a great way to save money and eat healthy. All right, let's move on. I think we only have one recipe left, which is our sausage and peppers. And this is crock pot or oven. So you can cook it either way. All of these can be made in the crock pot. I love my crock pot because it's just like dinner is done, you're ready to eat. But if you need a little variety, these are very good in the oven. I love this recipe. We need an onion, so I'm just going to use whatever is left in this bag of frozen diced onions. And then we have peppers, a red pepper, just dropped one. A red pepper, orange, and a yellow pepper. So 3 peppers, tons of veggies here. I'm sure someone has asked, what are these baggy stands? What are these green things holding my bag upright? These are Jacari hands-free baggy racks. I bought them from Amazon. I will put the link in your freebie if you're interested. They're great for holding the bags upright when you're filling them. You don't need them. I don't work for Jacari. I probably get like 2 cents from Amazon if you buy one, so don't feel obliged. But if you want them, they are cool. And also, this is a reusable freezer bag. Now, this is the same size as the gallon bags. I have actually been testing a lot of freezer bags. My favorite right now is from Fresh Menu Planner on Amazon. I will also put that link in your freebie. They're my favorite. They're gallon size. That means they can hold the same quantity as like a Ziploc bag or a hefty freezer bag. And you just wash them and reuse them over and over again. They seal the same. They are affordable. This kind, I think I got it like a 3-pack for $15. It was something like $5 a bag, which I think is a great deal if you care about the environment, if you're trying to use less plastic. People ask me about that. So I want to provide that alternative. If not, use the Ziploc bags. They work fine. I still use them, and there's no problem. They work great like at sealing your meals. All right, what else do we need in our recipe? We need some olive oil. We need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Just going to keep using my same measuring spoons so that I can just, at the end, I'm just going to pop this stuff in the dishwasher. It's really easy to clean up. And that means when I go to cook these meals, you have that much less work to do. So not only are these dinners done, but the prep work is done. You only wash your cutting board once. You wash your knife once. Your measuring spoons, they just go in the dishwasher and you're done. You don't have to do it in the morning and like splash stuff on your clothes. I don't know if that would happen to anybody else. That happens to me. Garlic powder, basil, and oregano. I hope you can see that I care about making these meals healthy. It's really important to me to not be including condensed soup, not include root beer. I see so many things in recipes on Instagram, on Pinterest. Mostly I see recipes that either aren't healthy or that aren't very well seasoned. I just saw a recipe yesterday and it was like half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. It was a whole crock pot. And I'm like, what? No, maybe that's because I've written thousands of recipes. But I was like, there's no way that's flavorful. Like, that's going to be a flop. And that's terrible. I have had flops. I don't know about you, but like that ruins my night. It's terrible. So that's why I want every recipe that I share with you to be delicious. These aren't meals that we're just like trying for the first time. These are recipes I have written years ago. They have been in my cookbooks. They are on my membership site. They have been on my blog. Other people are testing them and sharing their comments so that they will be a huge success the very first time you make them. And I think we are ready to add our meat. I wanted to share, I had another story. Zoe messaged me, "Thank you for being a great resource. I attended your live class earlier this week and was so happy for the coupon code. I went out and bought the ingredients for 10 meals right away. We have them because we're a small family, especially in worrying times like these. To have 20 meals in the freezer in about 2.5 hours was great. Everything has tasted amazing. It's expanding my horizon. I never would have used certain cooking vinegars or certain spices before, and now I see how delicious they are. My husband and 1-year-old love the food too. Thank you. Thank you, Zoe. Thanks for sharing that. I'm so glad that she mentioned how she split her meals. If you are cooking for 1 or 2 people, you might not want to make a meal that has 6 servings. If you do, like, great, eat the leftovers for lunch. That's what I would do. But they're so easy to split. So what I do is, if I'm cooking for less people, there was a time my grandparents were living at home. I took 10 recipes and I just split them into 2 bags each. So we had 20 meals total. And then you have half as many servings. You just cook them in a smaller slow cooker. I've tested them. I recommend 2 to 4 quarts, same cooking time. But that is just a really easy way. You're still using all of the ingredients and you're getting double the meals. Like, win-win. That is the best thing to do if you're cooking for less people and want to have less servings. All right, one more story. Heather says, I recently joined Freezer Meal Pro after watching a class. I've made so many meals for my husband, who's a commercial fisherman, away from home 6 months a year, which means lots of unhealthy food. Well, not anymore. Thanks. Like, awesome. Yes, Heather. I'm so glad they're working for you and your husband. I love hearing stories of just of people who are like using freezer meals in creative ways to like simplify their lives. All right, let's go ahead and add our meat now. And the great thing about adding the meat all at once is we don't have to worry about cross-contamination. I'm only going to be dealing with meat one time. It's only going to touch my cutting board one time, my knife one time, and then I'm going to put them in the sink to wash them. So that is just the best part about doing the assembly line method. We get organized. Let's start with our chicken. I'm going to put them in whole, and then after cooking, you can either cut the breasts if you want smaller pieces or shred the chicken. It's really flavorful when it mixes with the sauce. So this is our lemon pepper chicken. I would probably serve this with rice and broccoli. It would be great with asparagus. Lemon is delicious on pasta, so if you eat pasta, I would recommend that too. That'd be so good and kid-friendly too. Now is our ground chicken for our Asian chicken lettuce wraps. I've made this recipe a bunch of times. I made this first, I think, when I was pregnant with my 3rd daughter. So when I was pregnant with my 3rd daughter, I made 28 freezer meals. I put them in our freezer in the basement. We had an extra fridge, and all 28 fit in there, and that was the best thing ever. I felt so prepared. And then when my son was born, I made 40 freezer meals. By the time I had my 5th baby, I made 12. I was not so much an overachiever by then. I was like, 12, yeah. Patting myself on the back for that one. All right, I'm adding more chicken. This will serve at least 6 people. It might even serve 8 or more. I serve this with lettuce, with Boston Bib lettuce, rice, is what I meant to say. Okay. If ground beef is on sale, I would definitely try that in this recipe too. That would be really good. Alrighty, we have our chicken for our honey sriracha chicken. If you are pregnant, it's a great time to make freezer meals. If your daughter-in-law is pregnant, she will love you if you make these meals. It's a great time to make freezer meals. Also, if someone's having surgery, you or someone you know, it's so nice to know that you don't have to worry about cooking during that time. So many people will tell me that they love having freezer meals on hand because they can share them with other people. It is just, when you hear about someone else who's going through a hard time or something's happening and you could just drop off a meal for them, especially it's already ready, you don't have to go out and get the ingredients, it makes you really feel good. So there's a lot of instances where freezer meals come in handy besides just simplifying dinner during the week. The last bit of meat is our pork roast. This is really a big one, but I'm sure my family will eat it. I am going to trim the fat before freezing. You don't have to. You could do it after. Let's see if I can do this. But I'm going to do it now just because I think it'll help me save just a little bit of time when it's dinner. I love not like I have something in the and it's mostly ready. It's like the best time. I feel like it's just that it goes back to that extra time in my day. One of my daughters, well, three of my daughters are in virtual school right now, but my one, who's 11, has been wanting to go for a walk after school. So around like 4 o'clock, we'll go for a walk. And it feels so good to be able to do that because I know dinner's waiting, dinner's in the crock pot. I don't have to stress about it. And we can actually get out, get some fresh air, like talk, just the two of us. Just like really, really sweet time. Okay. Hope this fits in our freezer bag. Okay. Good. Okay. So I am just going to clean up my knife, my cutting board, put it in my sink, and wash my hands. Give me 1 minute. All right. I don't think any of the meat got on here, but I am just going to wipe it off just in case. We're good. And I need to add my meatballs. I am using frozen meatballs. If you want to do fresh, if you want to make your own, that's totally fine. I've done that in the past. I do have recipes for freezer to crock pot meatballs. So that's totally fine. I'm just using these because they're so easy and just throw them in. I love they're like kind of small, so they're very kid friendly too. This is for our sweet and sour barbecue meatballs. Okay. I want to show you how I seal these bags because that helps them fit in the freezer. Okay, they come right off the stands. The stands actually go down and are stored flat. But whether you're using the reusable bags or the regular Ziploc, you just want to seal it till you have like a couple inches left and then squeeze the air out. Sometimes people worry about freezer burn. It's really not an issue. I never get freezer burn. Like, do not stress about that. All right, squeeze it. It's totally sealed. And then I'm just going to flatten this so I can stack it in my freezer. Okay, let's start meatballs. I am going to put these in my upstairs, just my regular fridge freezer. We'll probably move them down. We do have a freezer now. Maybe once you have a freezer cooking business, you actually have to have a freezer in your basement. So we'll move them down, but it's not hard to fit these. If that's what's holding you back, not having freezer space, this is what I want you to do. Go through your freezer and get rid of everything that is expired because I have a feeling that half of it is. What is in there? Do you even know what's in your freezer? Clean it out because that is holding you back from simplifying your life and having these easy and healthy meals. And then otherwise, like maybe you'll be able to get a freezer at some point or an extra fridge freezer. Maybe tell somebody, hey, if I make these meals, can I store them at your house? If I share a meal or two, could I store them there? But for a very, very long time, I was just putting these in my freezer, making 5 at a time, 6 at a time, and then got a basement, like refrigerator, and eventually a freezer. Okay. These are good. I am going to put these just quickly in the freezer. I hope now that you've seen me make these meals, you like get why I'm so excited and just like how easy they are and healthy they are, and that you've had this like almost been like blown away and had these moments where you're like, I am like texting my friends, I'm texting my mom, I'm texting my daughter-in-law and saying, you are not going to believe what I just learned. Like, I am making these meals, my life has changed. And so what I want to do is just take a minute and quickly show you our membership site. It's called Freezer Meal Pro. While you're here, you need to see this because it's the only site of its kind. And so I want to show you how it works. I know a lot of our members are here. So let me grab my computer, let me grab my other mic, and just show you how it works. Now this is Freezer Meal Pro. You actually log in and you can see all of my easy and healthy freezer meals, all of my recipes that can be frozen without any cooking ahead of time. And I want to show you some of my favorite features. Now I looked at my local grocery store and what they have on sale this week is chicken. So if you go over here in the protein section, you can actually filter by protein: beef, chicken, pork, seafood, turkey, vegetarian. I'm going to search for chicken, and then it'll sort out all of the chicken recipes. I can look at photos, decide what I want to make. There's more on other pages, but right now this honey sesame chicken is just jumping out at me. And when you click into the recipe, you can see the ingredients, all super simple, see what you need to freeze it. And this has directions to cook in the crock pot, also the Instant Pot. Now, I know I want to make this, so I am going to click this little shopping cart icon, and I'll show you more about that later. And I'm actually going to make more than one of these because chicken is on sale. But let me show you some other search features. That's what makes this site so great. You can come over here and see that you can filter by ingredient, cuisine, cookbook, cooking method, protein, or diet. Let's say we are eating gluten-free. We would go down here in the different diet section, click on gluten-free and search. And that pulls up the recipes that are either naturally gluten-free or really easy to adapt to make gluten-free. And we could then go through these recipes, a lot of options. You can see grills in there too. These aren't all crockpot, mostly crockpot or Instant Pot, but there's a lot of other options. And then let's say I want to make this chickpea tikka masala. That looks good. We'll click into it. And I love this recipe. It's vegetarian. You can also make it with chicken instead of chickpeas if you want to. But again, super simple, all the instructions. This has crockpot and Instant Pot instructions, full nutritional info. You'll find that for every recipe on site, we're always adding nutritional info when we add recipes. And so if I'm going to make this, I just go ahead and click my shopping cart icon. And let's do one more search. Okay, here are our search options. Let's say we want to mix it up a little bit. Let's switch the cooking method. We have the options of crockpot, grill, Instant Pot, oven, or stovetop. I'm going to pick stovetop because I love those 15-minute meals. Literally dump everything in a pan on the stovetop, cook it up, dinner is done. Let's scroll down. I am going to pick this Tuscan chicken tortellini. My kids love pasta right now. So you can see, just super simple. Again, has the instructions, full nutritional info. Add the shopping cart. I want to show you my absolute favorite feature. This is where the magic happens. Get ready to be amazed. If you go up to shopping list and click my shopping list, you are going to find an auto-generated shopping list. It took those recipes, created a full shopping list organized by section at the grocery store. Now, remember I said that honey sesame chicken, I wanted to make more than one bag because the chicken's on sale. I'll actually make 3 bags because I love this recipe so much. It's going to be good for at least 3 months, and I love to have extra meals on hand if I want to give to someone else as a gift. So I would take this up actually to 18 if I was going to make 3 bags of it. And that is auto-adjusting my shopping list below. If I was cooking for less people, if I wanted to make less servings, I could do that too. Let's even say we're bringing this one down to 3. we can do that. But let's take it up to what I want to make this week. Okay, we can scroll down here, and then I'm going to cross off the items I already have on hand. So I already have freezer bags. I already have olive oil. We scroll down. Okay, ketchup. I think you get the idea. We're just crossing off what we already have and do not need. And then you can save menu, print shopping list, print menu. I'm going to go ahead and click save menu. And that way I can use this again and again and again. And then if I go to print menu, I love this. Okay, so now I can print this. I'm not actually going to do it right now, but I want to show you how it's printer friendly, and not only as the shopping list, but we have every single recipe here. So in the matter of like 2 minutes, I am ready to take these, go to the grocery store, or maybe order my groceries online, and then quickly assemble these 5 other meals to have a super stocked freezer. If you haven't joined yet, you will go to freezermealpro.com/New Year, because this is where you're going to find the membership for a one-time fee on sale for $69. Now, I truly mean a one-time fee. There are no recurring costs. You can use this over and over and over again to make freezer meals and to save money. And you're not going to have a monthly bill, a yearly bill. This is it. People ask me all the time, but it truly is a one-time membership fee. And if you scroll down, you'll just read more about me and my love of freezer meals. You can figure out if you're really going to like the membership, get the most out of it. And I want to point out, okay, everyone who joins gets unlimited access to all of my cookbook ebooks. I mean, this is over 20 downloads that you could access today. Whenever I write new ebooks, they're added to the membership site. When I write new recipes for my blog, they are also added. So that's all included in your membership. Really makes it worth it, as if the shopping list generator wasn't worth it already. Okay, so you would click add to cart. Okay, so this is your one-time fee of $69. This is your sale price. It's typically $97. If you have to pay $97, it is totally worth it. When I'm using Freezer Meal Pro, when I'm stocking my freezer, I find I save at least $200 a month. So even $97 is worth it. But we have a New Year's sale going on this week, 2 days only. Please join now. This is the best price until August. And to thank you for signing up for this class, I'm going to give you a coupon code. This is it. I don't give a lot of coupon codes, and never on top of a sale. So if you add the coupon code New Year, if you apply this to your order, you will save an extra 10%, bringing your price down to $62.10. I can promise you this is your cheapest price. So if you know you want to join, please do it now. I know people are going to be emailing me next week saying, hey, I want to join Freezer Meal Pro. Do you have some kind of promo going on? No, unfortunately, this is your week, and like, you're here today. So if you know you want to join, I just want to tell you this is it. Just do it now while it's on your mind. But you will just proceed to checkout. Super simple, your name, your email address, next, and that's when you're going to put in your billing details, confirm your order, and then check your email. That's where you get your link to log into Freezer Meal Pro and tips to get the most out of your membership. I'll start sending those to you right away. Okay, let's get right into Q&A. I am excited to answer your questions. I saw, okay, Nancy had asked about the grocery list. She said something like, is the grocery list organized by recipe? So I just want to show you what it actually looks like. Okay, the grocery list here, organized by aisle at the grocery store. Any other crazy planners out there? Type A. So each item has the recipe number next to it. So your lemon is number 1, recipe number 1. If you knew that you weren't going to make recipe number 1, you could go through here, and anywhere there's a number 1, you would just cross it off. Very easy to do. In Freezer Meal Pro, this would not be an issue because with my printables, you have the recipes that I want to make. When you're in Freezer Meal Pro, you're picking all recipes that you want to make. So there's nothing to cross off. Besides something that you have on hand, you wouldn't need to X out an entire recipe because you would be picking and choosing all the recipes and auto-generating your shopping list. Okay, great question. I want to answer other ones. I think I saw one from Deborah that asked about the chicken that I added to the bags. And she said, is it frozen? I added fresh chicken. So I used all fresh meat besides the meatballs. You can use frozen. I did that when meat was really hard to get at the grocery store. I did that sometimes if there are sales and I don't get a chance to prep meals, I'll just freeze the meat. What you want to do is add the meat frozen to the bags. Just go ahead and add it frozen with everything else, or wait to add it the day of cooking. It would be fine to like assemble a bag that just has the veggies and sauces and seasonings and then add the meat later. That a lot of times people are into hunting or something, they might have a lot of meat that they end up adding later. That is fine. What you don't want to do is like thaw it and freeze it without cooking it first. That's not considered food safe. So that otherwise fresh frozen meat, it all works. So let's look at some other questions. I'm just going to go through and see if there's any like really common question. A lot of members here tonight. Thank you guys so much. You guys are so nice. Like, I really, really appreciate you and like your comments. Like, you're the best. Can you guys just like message me every day? I mean, I do get a lot of emails and comments on Instagram and stuff about people making the meals, but it never gets old. Okay, they're asking about low sodium meals. Like, absolutely. I would say most of the meals are low sodium. We calculate nutrition for every recipe. Every recipe on Freezer Meal Pro has nutritional info. Like, we manually calculate it. And I'm like looking at those numbers. When I am writing recipes, writing cookbooks, I'm like, hold up, why is that sodium high or whatever? And then I'm changing the ingredients so that that's not the case because I want to make meals that I feel good about, the meals that I want to eat, that I want my family to eat. That's why I'm cooking. So I would say they are, if you need extra low, let's say you need like no sodium, you'll just need to read the nutritional information. Like there's no way to sort recipes based on that, but you could just read the full nutritional info, the little nutritional info label, and find the meals that work best for you. Dairy-free options, yes, absolutely. What else? Oh, Ashley. Hey, you're the best. Thank you. If you do have questions that I haven't answered, send me an email and I'll get back to you. But I want to do a quick cooking demo because once you've like prepped all these meals, you want to be able to cook them. Okay, so let me do this. Let me show you how you actually would cook your meals. I'll do my crock pot first. That's like my old standby. All these meals can be cooked in the crock pot. This is 6 quarts. Most of the recipes will work in a 4 to 7 quart slow cooker. If you make them smaller, I would use a smaller one. But this is my favorite. I have tested, I don't even know. At one point, I think I owned 8 slow cookers. I was writing a blog post testing out all these different models. One was Wi-Fi. I could control it from my phone, which was pretty cool, but like also not really necessary. So this one has a timer. It probably costs $40 on Amazon. It has a timer, which if you don't have a slow cooker with a timer, please get one. Like it's a game changer whether you're at home all day or you're out of the house. People say, I can't make crock pot recipes. I'm gone 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. This is your answer. Get a timer because you can set it for 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, and then it'll switch to warm. And it's fine if the meal sits on warm for another 6 hours or whatever. You just don't want to overcook your recipe. If you are having issues with dried out chicken, burnt recipes, it's because you're cooking them for too long. You need to decrease the cooking time. A programmable timer really makes that easy. Now, when you take your meal from the freezer, you can add it to this completely frozen. I've read and reread the manual. It says frozen is fine. So you can go ahead and add your meal frozen. If it's a huge bag, let's say like those meatballs and the peppers and pineapple, I made that for dinner tonight. That's a big bag. So that's like a frozen square block that doesn't fit perfectly in the crock pot. You just run it under water for a minute, or you could let it sit in water. If you are a super planner, I know there are people here, it might be you. You could put it in your refrigerator the night before, let it thaw. Right now, my brain is not processing that. I am just like in the morning, oh, what am I gonna make? Okay, let me do a quick thaw. But you put that in here, you set the time, you forget about it, you go about your day, you think you are a superstar because dinner is ready. Let me show you the Instant Pot. Most of these meals will work in the Instant Pot if they have at least a cup of liquid. I have a bunch of meals on my membership site. I'm trying to add more for the Instant Pot. They can go in here frozen. Again, as long as they fit, you put them in here frozen. Then I do a saute, 5 minutes saute. That lets a little bit of liquid out. You flip over the meal, and then you do a pressure cook. That's the only setting. Like, I'll be honest, this is kind of intimidating to me. There are a million buttons here, and this isn't even the newest model. So I am keeping things simple. As simple as my crock-pot recipes, so are my Instant Pot. I only use pressure cook. That way, if you have a different model, it's gonna work for any one that you have. Pressure cook, you'll follow the directions. It might be 20 minutes, 25, 30. If you want your chicken to shred, you're gonna need to cook it at least 20 minutes. I know this is like the Instant Pot. It's not instant, but it's fast. You really want that chicken to be tender, to shred. I've done a lot of testing. And so you would, obviously gotta put the lid on. You would pressure cook for the certain amount of time. And then I like to do a natural release. I think that just makes the meat really tender and flavorful. And then you open it up. Okay, time to eat. Remove this. I just want to say, like, thank you so much for coming here, like, to taking time out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate you so much. I have a couple more shout outs. Like, people have been messaging me so much. Recently, Cheryl said, I'm a member. I love this plan. I just had chicken fajitas from the freezer. They were delicious. It really makes it easier to have a nice meal all ready to make. Thank you, Cheryl. I'm so glad they're working for you. Carrie says, our family loves Freezer Meal Pro. The recipes have been yummy and easy. I love having meals in the freezer ready to go. Thank you for such a great membership. Thank you. Thank you for Carrie for joining and for telling me that it's working for you. That is just, it's really motivating. Thank you. And Mary said, I can't thank Family Freezer enough for helping me make meal planning so much easier. I just did 12 freezer meals a few days ago for this month. I'm going to buy a small deep freezer so I get even more freezer meals prepped at once. My family of 5 with 3 boys loves them. Like, high five, Mary. That is amazing. How great would it be to have 12 meals ready to go and have 12 nights where you do not have to worry about dinner? Like, that is amazing. Thank you for sharing that story. And I would love, if you're here today, send me an email after class, send me a message on Instagram. Like, so many people are messaging me like every day, and it just like motivates me to keep going. I love your stories. And just to get excited about freezer meals. Like I said, when you've made thousands of meals for years and years and years, it's like old hat. And then you talk to somebody who is just making them, and it's like, oh, it's just so invigorating. So thank you so much. And that's it. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you later.